this is Michelle Meeks, and you are at Revolve Fitness Sunday Soapbox. Today I am finishing up my mini-series that is all about Revolve Fitness. The first week I talked about who I am as a person. Second week I talked about what I do with my nutrition clients. And last week I shared an example, a story of how I realized that I needed to have a holistic approach to my own health. So if you haven't seen those, please go back and watch those so you can have a full understanding of what it is that I do and how it can best benefit you. Well, today I'm so excited because I get to share a few of my daily practices to keep myself healthy, and they have nothing to do with food or exercise. Okay, and before I get started, I just want to celebrate with you right now because today my husband went into his oncologist appointment and got a glowing report that his mass, this is the tumor that we fought so hard to shrink up last year, is actually even smaller than it was last year when he was done with chemotherapy. So today I was supposed to film for like 3 hours, but we decided to celebrate instead as a way of being healthy and living life and having fun. And this is a huge thing for us. So I'm pumped about that. Wanted to share it with you before I dive into my daily practices. Okay, number one of my daily practices is keeping boundaries. And for me, as like a recovering people pleaser, which you might relate to, I had a really hard time saying no to things because I didn't want to let anybody down, and I always felt like I could do it. I had enough time, I had enough resources, I had enough talent that I could help out in a lot of areas. But then I realized that all of my energy was sent out, I had nothing left for myself, and I was crabby, I was bitter, resentful, and downright angry at the people in my closest circle because they weren't taking care of me. Who wants to be around that? Like, I don't even want to be around that, and I was doing that myself. So the best thing that I have done for my own health has been to set up boundaries and saying no. No to like really good things. There's a lot of great things that I don't have the time for and that I don't need to expend my energy on. So it can be really hard, but I think this is a daily practice that everyone should start doing. And one of my very favorite authors has a great quote about it, as kind of gives you a good idea, a good gauge of what social engagements you should say yes to. So this is Jean Shinoda Bolen. This is one of her amazing books. I'm loving it so much. You can see I've got like tons of dog ears and there's my pen. Lots of things underlined in there. I love her. But she says this: when you are in such good company, energy is generated, not consumed. You feel more centered, true to yourself, you feel more love. So that is an excellent gauge of whether or not you should say yes or no to something. Are you going to feel more centered, more true to yourself, and more love by doing whatever it is, the activity is that you've been invited to? So that is rule number one. Okay, so now rule number two on holistic health ways. I like to take care of my actual physical skin too. And I have found that it is a beautiful way to implement speaking nice, loving, kind, tender words to myself. So, on every morning that I am not menstruating, because if you do this when you're menstruating, it gets pretty gross. So you don't want to do this when you're menstruating. But on days that you are not, there's a lot more of those days in the month, I dry brush. So I'm going to give you a little tutorial of this because it is very easy, very effective. It helps your lymph system clean out all the gunk, keeps your detoxification systems rolling, which helps your immunities. It helps keeping your skin supple and clear of blemishes, and just helps your whole system stay on track. The lymph system, you need to make sure is functioning well. So the dry brush, you can start at your feet, but I'll just show you on my hand. So you just do these light little brushes. They're not light though, they're kind of like a medium, can kind of start to make your skin turn pink. and you're gonna brush towards your heart. It's fine to do on healed tattoos, not fresh ones. Do not recommend that. Don't do it. And you really wanna make sure that you're going over all of the major lymph centers of the body, which is your armpits, under your ear, and right in your groin. Right in your groin. Those are the major hot spots of lymph nodes. So you're brushing towards your heart. If we're going on your foot, you're gonna start like this, and you're just gonna do decent, short little strokes towards your heart. Hit those lymph node centers real good, and then just keep coming up. Keep coming up towards your heart. Do the other side. It will wake you up for sure. Do your back. I recommend a little bit longer handle than this because then you can really like get your back. It feels good. It feels so good. It's like a nice little scratch. So doing that every morning before I pop in the shower is an excellent way to get my lymph system charged up. If you want to amp it up to a crazy level, you can take the advice of Guru Jagat. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but she's fantastic. In this book, she has tons of amazing holistic health tips. And the one that is so fun, and my husband thinks I'm crazy, is I will dry brush and then just take kitchen coconut oil. That you don't have to worry about getting a special kind just for your body, just this kind will do. And you massage it into your skin, and the whole time I'm massaging it into my skin, I am just telling myself how amazing I am. And that may sound silly, but gosh, it is, we all need it. We all want it from other people. Let's start giving it to ourselves so that then we can be more happy and joyful and loving towards the people in our lives. So I'm rubbing it in, and I'm like, Michelle, you are amazing. You are wonderful. You are gonna have an amazing day today, and you're healthy, and you're fun, and you're funny. I'm funny, you guys. Not everybody agrees, but I know it for sure. I'm funny. I take all of that lathered up coconut goodness, and then I hop in a chilly shower and just start rubbing it in. And the great thing is that the coconut oil actually kind of takes a little bit of the shock of the cold off, but then the cold just like makes your capillaries just shink up, and it squirts out all of the gunk and makes everything else go into your lymph system and flush out that much better, that much more efficiently, more effectively. So, and I guarantee you will not need coffee that morning. So give that one a shot. That is number 2. I give myself a good old dry brush. Okay, and then finally, practice number 3. I totally had a little brain fart there, excuse me. Practice number 3 is high vibrational activities. And for me, the first 2 that pop into my mind are meditation and dancing. So, actually there's a third one we'll talk about. Why not? We're gonna talk about a third one. And the third one is pleasure. Pleasure in your senses, pleasure in your skin. If you're partnered or unpartnered, you can have beautiful orgasmic pleasure, and it is so good on all levels of your body, mind, spirit, heart to experience full pleasure. So I'm just gonna mainly go into the first 2 of those ones though. We'll maybe do like a whole nother episode on the orgasmic pleasure. But for right now, we're gonna talk about meditation. There is a wonderful, wonderful free resource that works with Androids or iPhones. So it is called Insight Timer, and it is a resource of thousands of guided meditations, visualizations, and meditation music. They're actually even now, they have courses online, so if you like want to learn more about how to sleep through the night really well, how to get those boundaries set up, how to love your body the way you need to, no matter what size it is. They have lots of courses. They're great prices too, and there's just tons and tons of resources. So Insight Timer is a wonderful resource so that we can quiet the monkey brain. I know right now I'm kind of high vibing, high chattery, but that's okay. There's a beautiful time and place for everything. And sometimes, especially when I'm feeling anxiety or stress or depression, my meditation practices is what helps keep me grounded into the truths that I am a part of this beautiful ecosystem, and that how I take care of my body is a direct correlation with how I take care of my earth. And that how I take care of the earth is also a correlation of how I take care of my body. They are micro and macrocosms of each other. Meditation really helps me see that and stay focused on that, even when there's lots of crazy, depressing news and anxiety-filling people chattering and trying to gossip. Cut it out. Get some good meditation that will help you stay in a higher vibrational space by making sure that we are not living out of the lizard part of our brain, but out of the prefrontal cortex, which is where we can have logic and reason and see beauty and hope and love and cherish each other and cherish ourselves. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is dancing, because it is quick, it's easy. I don't care, I'll dance anywhere, and it shifts the gunk out of my body, and I can just enjoy, and it literally like makes me feel better. So to end today, I'm just gonna say that I would love for you to go back and look at my other episodes if you haven't already, and please comment below, share some of your holistic practices. I would love to see what you're doing, and subscribe. Join this community. Let's make it a great one. All right, you have a great day. We'll end with a little bit of Ariana because she is high vibe.
Give back everything the darkness stole.